oil, gas, and mining sector, and in the host communities as well. For instance, the latest audit report disclosed that the employment opportunities for women in the industry in Nigeria are currently too low for global average standards. As the report revealed, 56 out of 70 companies covered with total employees of 19,171 employees, 15,632, which is 82%, are men, while 3,532, which is 80% in that sector, are women. Similarly, out of 2,325 top high-level positions, women represented just less than 100. In efforts to address this gender equity and inclusion, NATI, working with global development partners, 52 EITM member countries, the media, civil society are committed to advancing gender equity debates in the extractive industries, with specific focus on improving women participation because of the importance of harnessing the huge potentials of women in the natural resource governance. To this end, the meeting has set up women gender desk to coordinate activities designed to put women and children issues in public consciousness. My presence here is to assure the Ministry of Foreign Mineral Development of its commitments and partnership to support the strategy that you will unfold today. Please consider Haiti as a dependable ally in this timely and valuable initiative. Thank you.
Just a round of applause for entire class. Still on this segment, please allow me to invite the Freedom Element Woman, Gender and Women Empowerment expert. Please welcome to the podium.
Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, Mr. Permanent Secretary. It is a pleasure that UNIDO, United Nations Industrial Development Organization, is here this morning to be part of this great work, which is the launch of the gender strategy for the mining and steel sector and the women in mining in Nigeria strategy. We believe that it is a very much welcome development as it will bring about much needed changes in this sector. United Nations Industrial Development Organization UNIDO works with the Nigerian government through a strategic program, which is called a country program. In the past, we have worked with the ministry on and in the mining sector, supporting the ministry and the mining sector with some of our programs and some of our project work. We want to congratulate the ministry and the women on this launch of this strategy. We also want to let you know that UNIDO is available as always to support the ministry, the women in mining sector, and the federal government of Nigeria to bring about the much needed change. Thank you and congratulations once again.
Professor Lucy of the second please tell me to invite AAD Officially, National Secretary, Women in Mining. Please round of applause for Mrs. Emily.
I can speak in opening remarks on behalf of the President of Women Life, who is unavoidably absent. She extends her greetings. the Honorable Minister, Permanent Secretary, Directors, Head of Departments, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, women, members of Women in Mining in Nigeria. It is my distinct honor to welcome everyone to the highly anticipated launch event of this gender strategy for the mining and steel sector and the strategy. Today, we stand on the threshold of a crucial moment in our collective endeavor to address the entrenched gender disparities
He's
within
not sending the
mining and
WhatsApp.
steel
Why is he
sector
sending
on a
live
global
first?
scale.
No.
As we
I
gather
just go
here
live now. The
today,
WhatsApp is not connected. No.
let us take a moment to reflect on our humble beginnings. Women in Mining in Nigeria initiative was first registered as Association of Women Miners in Nigeria in November 2006, with the main objective of protecting the women team miners in Jos who are drawn into mining as a result of the push and pull factors, simply termed poverty. In 2017, the Association of Women Miners underwent a rebranding in Nigeria, transitioning to Women in Mining in Nigeria. Subsequently, it was formally integrated into the Ministry of Mines and Steel Development, which has since been renamed as Ministry of Solid Mineral Development. Today, Women in Mining in Nigeria is a business membership and non-profit organization founded with a noble mission to safeguard the rights of women, impacted by mining operations, and to advance the inclusion, retention, and professional growth of women in the industry, where their voices were often overlooked from a small group of dedicated individuals. We have grown into a formidable force spanning across 27 states and boast a membership exceeding 1,500 individuals. While there is a single global organization named Women in Mining, we standardize aims and objectives. There exist numerous regional and national organizations with similar aims dedicated to advancing women inclusion in the mining industry, notably in Africa. Significant milestones was achieved in 2018 in Kampala, Uganda, where various gender-based organizations working on mining issues unified under one umbrella. This gathering led to the creation of regional bodies representing West Africa, East Africa, Central Africa, and SADC countries. Collectively known as Association of Women in Mining in Africa, AWIMA. Today we take pride in being integral members of a convergence of over 70 women in mining organizations globally, including prominent entities such as International Women in Mining, the Association of Women in Mining in Africa, Women in Mining UK, and numerous others across the continent. Supported by the International Women Alliance, Wimin Group aspires to bridge gender gaps within the mining sector and facilitate the professional development of women in the industry. At Wimin, we see the empowerment of women in the mining sector not just as a whole, but as a transformative force enriching individuals' lives and contributing substantially to the policy development and prosperity of our communities. Our mission is to foster a supportive community that inspires innovation, sustainability, and excellence, driving positive change for women and the mining sector as a whole. Together, we aim to shape the future where women play pivotal roles in shaping the mining landscape, contributing to its growth and fostering a culture of equality, respect, and shared success. Despite strides towards progress, the reality remains stark. Women within this industry continue to encounter multifaceted barriers that hinder their full participation and advancement, from limited access to land ownership and economic opportunities to systemic bias entrenched within the policy frameworks. The challenges confronting women in mining are manifold and profound. In response to these challenges, the Mineral Sector Support for Economic Diversification in partnership with the World Bank embarked on a comprehensive gender impact assessment and subsequent development of action plan. This exhaustive process involved meticulous analysis and extensive stakeholder engagement, culminating in the creation of gender strategy for the women and steel sector and the women strategy. This groundbreaking initiative represents a paradigm shift, a bold commitment to charting a new course towards gender equality and women empowerment in the mining and steel sector. Today, today's launch event serves as a beacon of hope, a rallying cry for collective action and solidarity. It is a platform to disseminate these transformative strategies, mobilize stakeholders, and ignite a movement towards meaningful change. Through collaborative partnership and synergistic efforts, we aspire to translate these strategies into tangible outcomes, driving measurable progress towards gender parity and women's empowerment as we embark on this transformative journey. I implore each of you to lend your unwavering support and dedication to this noble cause. Let us harness the power of collective action, championing the rights and opportunities of women in mining with unwavering resolve and determination. In closing, I extend my heartfelt gratitude to each of you for your unwavering commitment to advancing gender equality and women's empowerment within the mining and steel sector. Together, let us embark on this journey with renewed vigor, leaving a lasting legacy of inclusion, equity, and dignity for generations to come. Thank you.
Please initially announce for Mrs. Emily that switch at this point. The organization of the second, please permit me to welcome Alhaji A.T. Omar, Titus team, and non-trust letter for his criminal message. Thank you.
Directors, presidents, and consultants, men divided, distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen. This occasion of the launching of the tender selection of the mining and sector and where in Nigeria is linked for one or two things. If I say two things, because maybe because number one is that I think this is the first time that you people are seeing me here. Because I don't think most of you have seen me here. It's because I am part of the steel sector. The mines and steel ministry, as you know, was a collaboration between the mining sector and the steel sector. The mining sector, I think, has been championing the women in mining in Nigeria for the past years, which the last president has already said now. Why this event is unique is because this launching is not only for women in mining, it's for a strategy for mining and steel sector gender-based strategy. So, and to really give credit to what this developers is no other than our permanent secretary, and permanent secretary of the permanent secretary of mines and steel development. Please, I will give a round of applause for the permanent secretary. Secondly, I think we need to thank the Great Diamond, especially Project Director in Tanzania, for being part of the ministry and also for being a gender-based nationality, because I can say that because he is organizing this event and has been championing the cause of women in mining. I want to ask you to please champion the cause of women in steel problem in Nigeria. Yes, because when, as we know, and as it has been said, there is no participation of women in mining. There is less participation of women in the steel sector, and that is something that I think women in mining and the Ministry of Steel Development is going to take it up from this much. The law is that we have this strategy And the next thing is that we are going to utilize the science, and then we will also see that in the near future, we are going to have women in steel, or we say we join the women in mining and steel. So please, women in mining, anytime you want to do a program, please remember that your sisters in the steel sector are here. Because those as you already have people who are women in mining and you are trying to assist them, champion their cause, they are a lot of women they are also in the system. It's generally actually mining and city are together. It's not easy to separate them. When you talk for mining, you take over from city. City is about processing of mineral already mining mineral resources into selling of finished products. So if you go to the city companies, what do they do? If they have maybe years now, they hold it into rods, iron rods and so on. From that iron rods, they can take one iron rod or wire coil and then also process it into nails. And then from there also, we can process also produce roofing sheets. We produce foils, roofing sheets, nails, wire mesh, and all this kind of products. And that is where I think where manage to focus. Because when mining is little hazardous, the sector, even though it's a manly activity, but I think women can actually undertake most of the activities in that sector. So, I want to use this opportunity to thank the organizers, our permanent secretary, and also wish that the Lord strategy, and we are going to come together and put to and coordinate to make sure that the implementation is really achieved, and that we have more number of women in mining and activities and area.
Thank you so much, Mr. Today, the second development secretary is going to invite to develop is the Director of Logical and Raw Material Development, Minister of Steel Development. You're welcome, sir.
The permanent secretary is project coordinator in Denmark. My fellow directors here present, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, I want to stand on already established protocol. An opportunity like this comes once in a while that we remind ourselves of the roles we have to play in nation building. A nation is built by people, and it is what foundation we leave behind that the succeeding generation build upon to have what you see as a developed country. Therefore, it behoves on us as the people who are alive and healthy at this moment to do the bits that we can to add a tribute to the development of our nation, Nigeria. The subject why we are gathered today is centered around women, the launch of women's strategy. Is Ministry of Solid Minerals had a lot to do with women in mining. I cannot forget a very wonderful outing that the women in mining had last year in Lagos, where I could see a lot of pride on the part of women to add something to this country and this sector. Therefore, I will not only add the little energy I know I have, but in the area where women are beginning to establish themselves in goldsmithing and blacksmithing, I have very strong aspiration and desire to see women grow to different heights in every area of human calling, because I have seen the energy they can put into an event or activity, and I have very sterling examples I can share with us. The president of Wimin in mind, I have had very close engagements with her, and I see the drive, I see the potency that she has, and I say kudos to her. I want to encourage you women to please um, toe in this line of energy, because I can only see only positive developments coming to everything that you do. I was in Cotonou last month, and far away in Cotonou, the name of the president of Women in Mining was mentioned as a result of the sterling impact that she has made in the mining sector, in driving the younger generation to understand what they should be doing to add to the nation building. Therefore, the launch of a strategy today, I would say, is a very wonderful opportunity for us to continue to build on those foundations that strong women like this have established, and we can only be reckoned with anywhere in the world as examples that others should follow. That is the message I bring to you. I welcome you all.
Thank you so much. Let us people. The Holy Secretary, please follow me to recognize this set of people. Dr. Mrs. Vivian Ogono, Director of Med, Dr. Mrs. Esther Akechi Olo, Director of IPMT, and Oba Akinde Tony Aziz. Please you all welcome to this event. Also in our midst is Ambassador Luther O, Ministry of Foreign Affairs. You're welcome, ma'am. The President of the Universities, please. Do we have any representative from UN Women, FMWA, IWO, the Secretary of SNDF, Elijah is on here, Executive Director of Global Life, Executive Director of Center LSD, Executive Director Women. How about empowered to empower? Minus Association of Nigeria from them. Alright, Secretary, please permit me to move to the next item of the program, which is presentation by the consultant NNG Consulting Firm Limited. Overview of the general strategy. Mrs. Ngozi Chi Okorie. You're welcome. Please, round of applause for Mrs. Ngozi, please.
Members of Wimin present. Permit me to say just briefly, I feel very excited to be here today. That this month provides us another opportunity to sensitize our esteemed stakeholders on the importance of ensuring gender equality in the mining sector. So to begin, I would like to state that the structure of this presentation we basically done in three phases, and those three phases represent the different phases that this particular strategy passed through before it complemented into this particular document that we will be launching today. So, to begin with, before we developed the mining sector gender strategy, and by the way, it's not just mining sector, it is actually the ministry, the strategy for the mining and the steel sector. So we actually interacted with women in steel in the course of our conference. So the strategy is supposed to also be implemented in the steel sector. So the first phase was what we call the context analysis, which is the situation analysis. We took time to go around the different locations, different host mining communities, and we held interactions with different women groups, different stakeholders, the men, the youth, and we gathered every important information. And at the end, we were able to come up with the existing situation when it comes to women participation in the sector. Thereafter, we relied on those key findings to develop our strategic options. And those strategic options translated to what we call the strategic objectives for the gender strategy. So we'll be having this discussion and this presentation along that line. So the third phase will be looking at the institutional framework for the implementation of the gender strategy. Now, let me begin by saying, can we just imagine a world where every individual has the power to make a positive impact? Can you please imagine such a scenario where every individual has the power to make positive impacts? How do you think the world will look like? Hello? Beautiful. It is going to be beautiful. Absolutely. So when we are talking about a gender strategy, we are looking at a situation where every individual, and when we talk about individual, we are looking at the men and the women, will be able to make positive impacts to the mining sector. So today we will be exploring how we can turn this vision. It looks more like a vision, but we can actually turn it into reality. First, before we go into the in-depth discussion about the strategy and the different phases, let us give a little background to the development of this strategy. Let me begin by saying that the federal government in this wisdom is making effort to diversify its economy. And that is because the Nigerian economy has mostly been a mono economy, depending mostly on the oil and gas. And let me just give a little scenario on that. In most cases, when we talk about the gross domestic product of countries, we are looking at a situation where the productivity of each and every one in that community translates to the gross domestic product. But in the case of our country, Nigeria, the oil sector basically, you know, accounts for most of our overall GDP. So the federal government has really been working hard to diversify our economy. And let me say that the mining sector remains a viable sector that has the potential of contributing to sustainable development. However, there's a problem. The mining sector has remained highly male dominated, with women experiencing all kinds of harassment and discrimination. Therefore, achieving sustainable development means that everyone must participate and must contribute positively to the mining sector. So in line with this development, the Mine Driver project commissioned the conduct of a gender impact assessment and the development of an action plan that will ensure that women participate just like their male counterparts. But let me also provide more background information so that we can all be on the same page. Despite the growing number of female employees and the dependence on women level, because women are mostly found at the lower end of the mining sector. So they use their level more like they are not getting benefits, just like their male counterparts. So the mining sector has largely failed to provide secure, safe, and rewarding work for the women. Although women experience the negative parts of mining, there is no doubt about that. But women usually bear the greater impact of it. And we are going to see it because at times it's usually very confusing when we say that women bear more of those impacts. We are going to see some of those evidence today. So since the environmental and the social costs of mining are central concern for sustainable development, a more gender balanced workforce or sector will contribute to sustainable development. So as it stands now, gender issues are virtually excluded in most policies and practices of some ministries and some companies. So why is a gender strategy important, and what is gender strategy? So a gender strategy is basically a plan of action to achieve gender equality and equity in any organization. So it actually outlines the vision, the objectives, the activities, the results, the legal resources, and indicators for combating gender inequality and advancing the rights and opportunities of women and girls. So a gender strategy is based on the recognition of the relevance and importance of gender differences in each context and intervention. So why should an organization have a gender strategy? A strategy provides a foundation for a plan of action to achieve a range of objectives. It provides a blueprint for accountability against measurable objectives, outlining who will execute tasks and when, as well as how. The strategy helps to create specific project plans for discrete initiatives, and it can provide details about how to prioritize action. Without a strategy, it is very difficult to gauge whether the day-to-day activities and decisions are helping the organization. So a gender equality strategy enables organizations to move beyond an ad hoc programmatic approach to gender equality and ensures investment in gender initiatives is targeted. So having a shared understanding of the gender increases commitment to the initiative and enables all parts of the organization to work together towards achieving the objective. Okay, I think this is basically the background to why gender strategy is important and why we are developing the gender strategy. Now let's go to the process that has led to the development of this strategy. What is the context? We try to understand and assess the current situation. What are the experiences of women in the mining sector? Including that, we try to have a very nuanced analysis to understand who are the women. And I want to use this opportunity to say that women are not homogeneous. At times, when we say women in the mining sector, or when we say women, that is women in mining in Nigeria, we might be confused or we might be deceiving ourselves to believe that women are the same. So we understand the fact that women are not homogeneous. In other words, women have their different categories. When we are looking at issues of poverty, for instance, we will have to be looking at women from different sectors. We'll be looking at female-headed households, and just use it as an example. We'll be looking at women from economic point of view, those who are able to provide a little for themselves, and those who do not have enough for themselves. So there are different women living with disability and different categories of women. There are women who are more vulnerable. So in order to make sure that we come up with a comprehensive and a strategic framework that will actually cater for all these women, we need to understand the intersectionality of gender and how it affects these different categories of women. So by that, we try to understand how policies, how discriminations, how it affects women at different levels. So this is just to mention that women are not homogeneous. Now, to begin with, we try to look at the policy framework. There are regulatory frameworks that tend to support gender equality and women's rights. So, the policy and regulatory framework, when we try to analyze that, we notice that there are several policy regulatory frameworks that tend to support women participation in the mining sector as well as support women's rights. So when we look at the Universal Declaration of Human Rights in 1948, it tends to support the rights of women to participate at all levels of every human endeavor, including the mining sector. So when we look at those are the international level, there are so many of them. We're also looking at regulatory frameworks such as the Sustainable SDG, Economic Growth, they are there. Instruments such as the CEDAW, they are all there. They all support women participation at all levels, including the mining sector. When we come to the continental and regional level, Nigeria, we all know, is a member of the United Nations and also a member of the African Union. And they have ratified most of those regulatory frameworks. So the convention, of course, I mentioned the CEDAW, they are there. At that regional level, we have the Mobutu Protocol, we have the AU Zone Declaration on Gender Equality in Africa. Now, when we come to our national level, there are many. I just want to move a little faster. When we come to the national level, our 1999 Constitution also supports women's rights. It forbids discrimination of any form. The National Gender Policy, which has been recently updated in 2022, also spells out some affirmative action that also tend to support women participation as well. The Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act, they are all there to protect women against all forms of gender-based violence. So now, we try to get down to the mining sector level to map out the relevant policy framework and to see the extent to which they have protected against women's discrimination. At the regional level, we all know about the African Mining Vision. The African Mining Vision document makes a high-level commitment to inclusivity by promoting gender justice and women's rights, notably through the integration of gender equity in mining policies, laws, regulations, and the development of regional and continental gender chapters for the extractive sector. Now, down to the ministry level, we have the Nigerian Mining Act of 2007. Although the Mining Act, from our assessment, is completely gender blind, and it bears no reference to the rights of the mining sector. We also have the roadmap for the growth of development of the Nigerian mining sector. The document recognized the disproportionate impact of women in the mining sector, but it failed to establish any policy framework for gender responsive action plan in the sector. So, generally, we can say that although there are existence of gender sensitive policies and regulatory framework against discrimination, but women still face bias in mine and steel industry. Now we went further. This was our key findings around the existence of the policy framework. Now we went further to understand the level to which women are actually participating. Now like I said, that women are not homogeneous. We try to group them in different categories. So we are looking at the host community women. They are all part of the women in the mining because they have experienced, they bear a lot of some of the negative impacts of mining. So this group of women, the host community women, this group of women take advantage of the existence of minerals and mining sites in their community to participate in the mining sector. Let me say that most of these women may not be totally miners, but they do seasonal miners, especially during the off-season of farming. So we try to identify those women as part of the women in the mining. And let me say that they also experience a lot of negative impacts of the mining sector. So they are mostly farmers, but they participate in mining sector. Now there's another category of women, the ancillary workers. This group of women provide ancillary services for miners, such as food, drinks, and among others. We also recognize them as women in the mining sector. So there's another group, the women in we call them the ASM cooperative group. This group are involved in artisanal mining. They are all involved along the mining value chain, the mining, the processing, the marketing of minerals. The difference is that they have been registered as cooperative groups in the mining sector. We also have the ASL women in the informal group. This group consists of individuals who are involved in artisanal mining, processing, and marketing, but they are not registered as the cooperative groups. And let me say that these women in these informal groups are the most affected when it comes to gender-based violence and discrimination. They face a whole lot of danger in the mining sector because they play outside the formal sector. So, what exactly do women do at the SML? Overall, women have different and distinctive roles, which may vary between culture and religious belief. We notice that as we move across the different geopolitical zones, women's roles across the mining sector will vary. From the south to the north, there are some group of women from certain ethnic groups who do not participate in the mining sector. And there are some states that we went to, we did not see any woman in the mining camps, and that's because of their culture. There are some women also that explain to us the negative experience that what they experience. People look at them as women who are suffering. Mining sector is seen as a place where the woman should not go. So the participation of women vary from between 10% to as high as 50 to 60. For instance, when you go to the east, for instance, and other places, you see women participating actively in the mining sector. So the role of a woman in the mining sector is actually dependent on her location. It depends on her religion and at the same time the culture. So they are involved in mining, processing, and it's also good to say that women participate at all levels of the mining production, although they are more at the processing level. So a significant number of women were observed working as metal steel welders and fabricators. So the steel sector we observe represents a great area for women to explore. So there are regional dimensions to these levels, and I think I have said it. We should be mindful of the regional dimension. People when we want to implement the strategy, we should be sensitive to some of these cultural and religious um, characteristics. So comparatively, more women are involved in ASM activity in the southern region than in the northern region. It was also observed that women from certain culture did not participate. I think I mentioned this. The tribe like Nube, they don't participate. All right. At that same level, what are the barriers? We mentioned the culture, there's the lack of access to land rights, lack of access to education and information, the lack of access to credit facilities. These are the major. There are many other different barriers. But these are the major ones that we observe. Now, we are